How's it going, everybody? Welcome. It's the 13th of January 2020. Still adjusting to saying that. 2020, baby. And today, the Oscar nominations were released. Released. Revealed, I suppose is the correct word. Were revealed for the 92nd Academy Awards. Some very interesting choices. Let me just fix the camera. Very professional here on the channel. Just thought I'd skim through them, give my first reaction to seeing the nominations. I have kind of had looked through them, but not properly dived deep into seeing what's nominated for what. 2019 is such a massive year for cinema. I've talked about it non-stop. However, the Oscars are really weird because it always takes place in February, the worst possible time for an award show, because it's like you're talking about the 2020 film of the year, but it might have been released in 2019. It's very confusing. That stuff freaks me out. But I understand it's like the best of those nominated films or best of that season and that sort of thing. It's fine, it doesn't matter. But just from the grand scheme of things, it kind of bothers me a little bit. So please excuse my eyesight. I'm pretty blind, so I'm gonna have to lean in like this. What is the first one? Best Picture's the big one, obviously. That's obviously the one that's the main event. And we have Ford v Ferrari, which is Le Mans 66. I don't know why they keep changing the name. The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Interesting selection. Not one film there is similar to another film on that list, which is a good thing for the Best Picture category. Ford v Ferrari, a sports driving movie, didn't see it. The Irishman, a 3.5-hour gang film, by Scorsese with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. Harvey Keitel, the classics, which was amazing, by the way. Jojo Rabbit, hadn't seen it yet, but I heard unbelievable things about it. I really need to check it out. I want to catch it before it's out of cinemas. Joker, of course, one of the most talked about, controversial, highest acclaimed films of last year. It got so many nominations. Little Women, yet to check out. Marriage Story, which I really enjoyed on Netflix with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. Really good film. It's one of those films that's kind of like not heartbreaking, but like kind of tells you a bit apart, and you're just kind of like, I'm never going to watch this again anytime soon anyway. Other than the fact, if I want to maybe see Adam Driver act, don't know. But it's not one to instantly go back to. It's not filled with very much joy. So to me, films are about making you escape and making you feel a little bit good. I don't know if that's really what Marriage Story is. 1917, yet to see it, but just heard incredible, over the top war film, raves about that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favourite one from this list. Finished number 3, I think, in my top 10 of 2019, sorry, which you can listen to on my podcast, the Good Bit Podcast, episode 60, top 10 films of 2019. It's our longest and most epic episode ever. So here are my top 10 on there. And Parasite, which I'd never heard of until the other day. And I was at a training thing in my work, and some girl that I hadn't really spoke to before, we were talking about best films of the year, and she just said, have you seen Parasite? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And then it's fucking popped up on a Best Picture nomination. So that's awkward, and I'm assuming, it's a great film, obviously. All these films are great. They're all good choice and stuff. Obviously, I'm just yet to see about half of them. So that's the fun, though, kind of catching up before the ceremony. When is the ceremony? It is February 9th, 1 week after the Super Bowl. Excellent. Glad it's not on the same night, because I need to pick favourites. Best Director, Martin Scorsese for Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. All, fine nominations. Nothing over the top, nothing like revolutionary, like, oh my god, he got nominated or she got nominated. Lack of female directors, but let's just kid on, that's not a thing, because the Oscars are kind of filled with loads of controversy, whether it be diversity or whether it be gender diversity and that sort of thing. I would have loved a few female directors on there, but there isn't. So let's try not to worry too much about it. Maybe there should be, but I don't know when will that ever change. I mean, there's an argument for those 5 films. Of course there is. They could arguably be the 5 best directed films. It just so happens they're all male. Whatever. But Tarantino again is probably my favourite on there. Even Todd Phillips for the Joker, or just Joker. In terms of directing, might be a good one. And Sam Mendes is a great director. He's probably had more of a task with 1917. Interesting, yet to check out. Best Actor is one I've always got my eye on. Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. I'd never even heard of Pain and Glory until I read the nominations this morning, or this afternoon coming home. Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favourite DiCaprio performance, I think, of his entire career. So I think he's in for a great show. Adam Driver, just my whole heart, just a total soft spot for Adam Driver, and he is just amazing in Marriage Story. But as I say, it's such a, I mean, in terms of performances, he's the one to go back to Marriage Story for. He's the joy in Marriage Story because he's just the best, and it's just, he's massive, isn't he? Like, it's funny. You see him in Star Wars, you see him in all that gear, you know. You don't notice how big he is, but he's just massive, like just screaming at Scarlett Johansson. She's amazing in that film as well, and deserves her nomination. Joaquin Phoenix and for Joker, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes, another film that I had absolutely no idea was even a thing. I'm quite good at keeping my finger on the pulse on terms of what films are out and what films need to be seen and that sort of thing. The Two Popes, what is that? Joaquin Phoenix is my winner there. I've never been a massive fan of him as an actor. However, Joker just sent it over the edge, and it's just one of the greatest performances in cinema history. And I'd love DiCaprio to win it, but I think Joaquin. I'd love Adam Driver to win it. Don't be daft, but I think Joaquin's got to win that one. Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, who I know is really good for Harriet. Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story, brilliant. Saoirse Ronan, my favourite actress. Charlize Theron from Bombshell, she was really good in Long Shot with Seth Rogen, and Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland. Which I didn't see. I was really wanting to see that Judy film, but it's just that I missed it in cinemas and just never went back to it. But there's a good another good reason to check it out before the Oscars in a few weeks' time. But for me in that one, I have only seen the Scarlett Johansson performance, so that's the only one I can be biased towards. However, Saoirse Ronan is my favourite, so I may end up going for her. I'm looking forward to checking out Little Women. I was a bit sceptical at first, but I heard amazing things about it. Best Supporting Actor, we're not going to go through every single nomination, but just the main categories. Best Supporting Actor, Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood, Anthony Hopkins in The Two Popes, Al Pacino and Joe Pesci in The Irishman, and Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Really interesting category, no new stars, no young actors, all like established, all top 5 greatest of all time, People could put these members on their lists, in terms of top 5 actors of all time. I've obviously not seen Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood yet. It doesn't come out until the end of the month, but I mean, I love Tom Hanks and that film looks great. And Anthony Hopkins, of course, is an incredible actor, and obviously I've not seen The Two Popes. I think Joe Pesci is unbelievable. It's the best old man acting I've ever seen. I know he is kind of an old man now, but like older man I've ever seen. Elderly actor. And in terms of that scene in The Irishman where he's at the bowling alley and he's trying to like impress De Niro's kid, is just, I love that scene. I think he's amazing. Al Pacino is hilarious in The Irishman. He's a total dafty. But my pick is Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time. He absolutely deserves it. He's absolutely the best at that category for me that I've seen. I love him in Once Upon a Time. I love him, Margot and Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's just one of my favourite films of all time, I think. Best Supporting Actress, we have Kathy Bates. What on earth for Richard Jewell, Laura Dern in Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson in Jojo Rabbit. Scarlett Johansson's going to forget which film she's winning for so much. Florence Pugh in Little Women, big fan of Florence Pugh. Congratulations on that, because I know you're watching Flor. And Margot Robbie, who I'm a big fan of as well. Really good category there. Laura Dern is getting a lot of praise for Marriage Story. I think she's good and everything, but she doesn't do anything spectacular. It's not life changing or anything. It's just a performance, and it's a good performance, and it's Laura Dern being kind of bubbly and but nothing special whatsoever. I heard Scarlett Johansson's incredible in Jojo Rabbit. Florence Pugh, massive fan. She's just a total new star. I just feel like she was discovered in 2019 and now she's just like this big star, and she's apparently in everything. So good category there, but also a lot of films are still to check out, which is exciting. Last couple of categories here we'll get to. Best Original Screenplay, Knives Out. Hallelujah, Rian Johnson. Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Great category. Obviously I've not seen Parasite or 1917, but in terms of like the buzz about them, you can imagine they're great. I mean, I would love Knives Out to win this. I loved Knives Out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood finished my number 3, as I said. I think that's a better film, and I love that film. But Knives Out would be amazing for a smaller film like that, and a director like Rian Johnson, who put together that film. And Knives Out was just so much fun, and the type of film I love. I'd love that one to win an Oscar. Best Adapted Screenplay, we have The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes. I got a feeling Little Women's going to win that, because I know it's been done so many times in terms of written different times and performed on stage plenty of times and that. even think it was a TV special back in the 80s or something. So the fact it's like being jigged into the cinema in 2020 with this amazing cast, do you know what I mean? I think that's a good one for adapted screenplay. Although I'd love The Irishman to win, or even, I mean, Joker's up there with all the other nominations, so it's a good chance I might even win Best Picture. But it's cool to see those ones on there. I need to see Jojo Rabbit. I'm desperate to see it. Any other ones I know here? Best Animated International Feature Film. Don't really know many of them. Best Original Score. We have Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars have got to win. I will not accept anything else. We've have a Best Original Song, the one from Toy Story 4. Can't really remember it if I'm honest. The one from Rocket Man. There was so many songs in Rocket Man. How do you remember? The one in Breakthrough. No idea. Into the Unknown from Frozen 2 is definitely one that stands out for me, and Stand Up from Harriet, which I've not seen. Obviously, I can't tell you. I've seen, Rocket Man, I've seen Toy Story 4, but they don't stand out to me. I can't remember them off the top of my head. However, I can definitely remember Into the Unknown. I'd love that one to win. I love that song. And Best Cinematography, Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, 1917, Once Upon a Time. All good. Best Visual Effects, we have Avengers Endgame. So happy it got at least one nomination. And it's also got another one, I think. I can't see it just now. Irishman, Lion King, 1917, Rise of Skywalker. I love all those films, other than 1917 that I've not seen yet, but I can imagine I'm going to, pretty much love. Good nominations, but again, it's a bit like it's all the same. There's not a lot of female nominations, there's not a lot of African American, not just black nominations. That's probably going to cause a lot of controversy. Again, it's just the same old, same old. Although all these are deserving, I'm sure. Even the ones I've seen, I'm pretty much like, yeah, of course, I had the, Marriage Story, yeah, and Joker, of course, and Irishman, of course, and Once Upon a Time, yeah, but you knew they were happening, and it's nice to see films like Knives Out, and it's nice to see films like Jojo Rabbit getting kind of that buzz, Best Animated thing, I saw Claws there. Nice to see that one getting a nomination. How to Train Your Dragon's on there. Toy Story 4, of course. Good stuff, but just again, a lot of the same. Much of the same, which is fine. But my picks for Best Picture, my choice would be Once Upon a Time. Again, I've not seen them all. My choice right now would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've got a feeling I'm going to love Jojo Rabbit when I see it. I'll hopefully see it this week. And but I believe there's a good chance 1917 will win that. Or Joker. I doubt any of the other ones will win that. Best Actor, it's got to be DiCaprio, man. No, it's got to be Joaquin Phoenix. That's a strong category. Even just between the three I've seen, between DiCaprio, Adam Driver and Joaquin Phoenix. Very exciting. Best Actress, as I said earlier on, you can imagine Scarlett Johansson winning that for Marriage Story because she's amazing in that film, but I love Saoirse Ronan. But again, I've not seen it, so once I go and check these films out, I can have a more rounded opinion on these awards and nominations and that sort of thing. But congratulations everybody, well deserved, and I look forward to checking out the Oscars in a few weeks' time. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, what your predictions are, any films that you thought were left off. Let me know, please. I'd love to know and get that conversation going. Any more I should check out before we get there to awards season. I guess we're officially there, but you know what I mean. And yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CM42TV. We'll have a lot of bonding time over there talking about the Oscars and just great films in general. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you all in the next video.